All right, moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals now. Again, this is a part of our $100 competition at this here Facebook group. This is Giorgio Ocassi, I guess, who did this mock draft. So if his video produces the best results, which right now I think Carolina is actually in the lead, which I did the Carolina video. So I'm kind of hoping I don't win because that's going to cause all kinds of controversy. But I'm going to take it if that's what happens. But all right, real quick run through of what I'm seeing with the Bengals. I am a Packers fan, so I got to familiarize myself a little bit. Obviously, what I'm aware of is the offensive line and the issues that we have there. We brought in Orlando Brown thinking that was going to fix everything. He kind of took a step back. Hopefully, he can kind of continue to play at a high level. Cordell Volson, not a super fantastic player. Ted Karras in the middle there is 31 in the final year of his deal, so we got to do something there. Alex Kappa, we've got him locked up for a little while, but he is 29 years old. And then we have Jonah Williams over on the right side, and that's just been a little bit of a disaster. So my personal preference would be offensive line. Again, this is not my mock. We got to protect Joe Burrow. And then wide receiver is kind of an issue, which is strange considering, Boyd's a good player, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. But what I'm hearing is that T. Higgins is out the door. We're going to have to pay Jamar Chase. He's in the final year of his deal, so he's going to have to get massively paid. And Tyler Boyd is a free agent. On top of that, at tight end, Drew Sample, Irv Smith, Tanner Hudson, and Mitchell Wilcox are all free agents. So obviously we're going to have to pay some of these guys to stay. But we got a lot of guys heading out the door here. Running back Joe Mixon is in the final year of his deal at 28. I don't know how much is left on his tires. Travion Williams is on his way out. Chris Evans is in the final year of his deal, so we got to figure that situation out. Defensively, DJ Reader and Josh Tupou, I think is how you say his name, are free agents. DJ Reader at 30 years old, got some question marks there. Hendrickson is a very, very good football player, but he's 30 years old, so I don't know. We got to have some other options. Sam Hubbard is 29. He's not the greatest. Cam Sample and Joseph Asai are both in the final years of their deal, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get some additional help off the edge. At linebacker, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Marcus Bailey, and Joe Bacci are all free agents at the moment, with Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson really being the only two guys that are locked up for a long period of time. So we've got some bodies. I mean, we got Devin Harper also, but presumably we're going to have to pay to bring somebody back, and it wouldn't hurt to bring in some additional bodies. At cornerback, we've got Chidobe Awuzie, who is a free agent. We also have Mike Hilton in the final year of his deal. He's 30 years old. And Jalen Davis in the final year of his deal at 28. Otherwise, we're just looking at Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, and DJ Ivey. And so we got to figure out what exactly we're going to be doing with our corners. Again, don't know about long-term options. Safety, we're doing pretty well with Jordan Battle. I mean, that was a heck of a pickup there. This is a guy that was a lock top 10 guy for a long time and then just completely fell off a cliff. And it looks like maybe that was a mistake because this guy is a stud. Otherwise, we got Dax Hill, who's a little younger, but, I mean, the guy is not performing, so we may need to find somebody to go next to Jordan Battle. I know we got Nick Scott and Tyson Anderson, but we may need some solutions there. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into Giorgio's mock draft. Now, a couple things. Number one, this is obviously a Michigan fan, and number two, the first pick is a little bit unrealistic, but that's where you get to come in and leave your comments and let me know what you think. With the 13th overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. Now, I do think he's probably going to slip a little further than people expect just because of the positional value and whatnot. And there's a lot of, we might have quarterbacks going the first four, and then we got two wide receivers that are just studs. We got guys that need offensive line, et cetera, et cetera. Making it to 13, though, might be a bit of a stretch. But either way, obviously an elite football player at Georgia for 3 years. Dominant. I'm also happy because I don't think I've done a mock yet where Brock Bowers has b'een picked, so it needed to happen. Just 21 years old, 6'4", 240. We didn't really get to see anything other than this, so, 6'3", 243 was his official measure in, but he didn't do any of the drills, which is a little unfortunate because you would assume, being a little smaller than I think people were expecting, you were kind of hoping he was going to do something and he didn't. But still, I don't think he's going to fall super far. At pick 49, the Bengals select Chris Jenkins, defensive interior, 22 years old, out of Michigan. I told you this is a Michigan fan. Going to be a lot of Michigan picks here. We've covered him a couple times. He is primarily a run defender. He does grade out well as a pass rusher, but the stats really aren't there. And it's, as you can tell, it's usually pretty mediocre to subpar as far as the pass rush goes. But the run defense is definitely there. So he's going to come in, help us bolster that interior. With pick 115, we got Zach Zinter, the guard, 6'6", 320 pounds. As you can see, 74 passing grade, 76 run blocking grade. Didn't give up any sacks this past year. As you can see, he's only been a right guard, so presumably we're going to slot him in right here for Kappa. I mean, we need a lot of stuff, so we'll take whatever. This is our first swing at offensive line, so it is what it is. And then Will Putnam is going to come in as our center from Clemson at pick 147, 6'4", 315. Primarily a pass blocker, but I have no issue with that. The entire point of this is to protect our quarterback if he's a mediocre to even subpar run blocker. It's not my favorite thing, but I couldn't really give a crap, to be honest. We just need our quarterback to not die behind the offensive line for once. He did not do anything in the combine, so at pick 174, Josh Proctor, safety out of Ohio State, 6'2", 205 pounds. Doesn't list his age, but as you can see, 6 years at Ohio State. The dude's been around for quite a while. Strong safety primarily. I'm losing my mouse every second. I don't know if the batteries are dying or what, but it must be because I got nothing going on here. Come on, just let me get through this video. 6.5 RAS, not the greatest thing in the world. 4.55 speed is not terrible. About 200 pounds is not terrible. He's not the biggest. He's not the fastest. This is kind of just standard run-of-the-mill safety stuff that you're going to find pretty much wherever. And again, we need a guy to go next to Battle, so we're going to take a swing at Josh Proctor. The only thing I think that is a little bit iffy is if Battle actually is going to be our strong safety, is Proctor going to be the free safety in the middle of the field, or are we going to try Battle at that? I'm not really sure. But that would be the only sort of consideration I would have. And then at 195, we got Josh Wallace, cornerback again out of Michigan, 6'1", 190. Definitely need to consider our options there, again, with Awuzie being a free agent, Hilton and Davis being in the final years of their deal. We got to start looking at other options. Really blew up in his first year at Michigan after 4 years at UMass. 87 PFF grade, 89 run defense, 86 tackling, and 85 coverage, 66.2 passer rating when targeted. Really never had any bad days. Like, this was his worst game here in coverage, 59.8 at Rutgers. He's a boundary guy. Hopefully he can come in and learn for a little bit. We got some guys that'll be here for another year or so. So give him an opportunity to sit and learn, and hopefully by next year he's ready to rock and roll. At pick 234, we got Trevor Keegan, another interior guy and another Michigan guy. So we've got three interior guys. He is going to be our left guard. So we got a right guard, a center, and a left guard. It all kind of fits nicely. Once again, really good pass blocker, run blocker. Also, this makes me a little nervous as far as his inability in previous years, but let's just assume that he just figured something out for sure. Again, we're at pick 234, so we can't be overly picky. Another big dude, 6'6", 320 pounds. So hopefully we've got our interior offensive line figured out. Here's Trevor Keegan, just dominated the combine. Again, he's 6'5", 310, but still a big dude. Good 10-yard split, real good explosion grades. We didn't see any of the agility stuff, but very athletic interior guy even for his size. And then finally, Jalen Harrell, edge rusher out of Michigan once again. And again, edge rusher is going to be a bit of a need. We got Hendrickson, again, who's a good football player. We do have Miles Murphy. We'll see what he can turn into. Sam Hubbard's not quite getting it done, and then we got a bunch of guys in the final years of their deal. So Jalen Harrell's going to have an opportunity to sit and learn behind some of these guys, and then we'll provide, hopefully, some pretty quality depth in the future. 4 years at Michigan, started probably the last two, has gotten better pretty much every single year. 77 PFF grade, 73 run defense, 86 pass rush grade at 6'4", 242. That's probably what you're getting. Not quite 22 years old yet. 31 pressures and 6 sacks on 215 attempts. Here's a recap of all the picks that we got. So we went, we got our 3 interior guys. We got a corner, safety, edge, and then our tight end, along with Chris Jenkins, our defensive tackle, to round out our Cincinnati Bengals mock draft. Again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you join the Facebook group. We're going to be doing more giveaways and more fun stuff like that. And again, the video that performs the best, that is liked the most, etc. Please don't do a thumbs down because that just hurts the channel. Just leave a comment that says this mock sucks if you don't like it or something. That'll help me decide who did the best mock draft. And again, that guy's going to get $100. So best of luck to Mr. Giorgio, and I will catch